So I wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about the Texas pro-life bill that they're calling the abolitionist strategy. It is a bill that they've passed through committee, and it is going to the House floor to discuss, and they hope to pass it, and it's called the Abolition of Abortion Strategy Act. And the claim is that by 2025, they will have abortion made illegal in the state of Texas. And it's these incremental steps that they take over the next several years as they are seeking to abolish abortion. Now, while it is called the Abolition Strategy Act, and they claim that it is to abolish abortion, there are a couple of things about the bill that are very troubling, and I want to talk about those things and then real quickly describe why I think that they are doing this. One of the things in the bill is that it still will promote the myth of judicial supremacy. It is dependent upon Roe versus Wade being overturned. They will bow down to the Supreme Court decision. So if they are hoping, and this is what the authors of the bill are saying, is that they are hoping that by that time Roe versus Wade is overturned and this bill would go into effect if Roe versus Wade is overturned, it would make abortion illegal in Texas. This is more than just a trigger bill, because there's other increment steps like the heartbeat bill action part of it and a couple of other steps over the next several years. And what they are claiming is that this time that it takes to go through these steps, they're hoping that these steps will cause Roe versus Wade to be overturned by the time the bill reaches its telos, when it comes to a point where it is abolished. So problem number one, it still says that the court ruling is the law of the land. That it still must adhere to this unconstitutional ruling. It is still giving deference to a court that has gone beyond its jurisdictional duties. So it's claiming that Roe versus Wade is constitutional, that there is a right to abortion that could be overturned. That's problem number one. And not only that it is constitutional now, but that they would have to wait until it's claimed to be unconstitutional by the same court in order for this to all go into effect. The other problem with it is that it will not criminalize all principal actors, co-conspirators, and accomplices. It will still maintain that it is not to be considered criminal homicide if the one committing the homicidal act is the mother, right? So it would not allow criminal homicide charges to be brought up against a woman that kills her own preborn child. And this is unjust to begin with. It's showing partiality to the wicked. It is this continuation that the pro-life movement keeps pushing, that women are victims, and it's just simply not true. What we're seeing in Texas right now is not only a rise in abortion pill, we're now where it's 55% of all of the recorded abortions, all of the abortions that are reported through the clinics and the mills, it's at 55%. That does not include the exponential rise that we've been seeing in self-managed abortions. And they are currently trying to inform the public, especially people that come into the abortion clinics, on where to find information about self-managed abortions. They're trying to spread that information in case Roe versus Wade gets overturned. And there are currently infrastructure that's being built for the distribution of black market pills for this to happen. So even if this bill goes into effect, and even if Roe versus Wade gets overturned, it will not be a criminal homicide case against the woman that kills her own preborn child, making way for her to continue to black market self-managed abortion. So why do I think that they are doing this bill? Well, one, look at the language that they are adopting. The abolitionist movement is making such strides in the minds of the public that they have to adopt this language. I believe that the average pro-life person out there, the average pro-life Christian, really does think that abortion is hideous. And they want it to be made illegal. And they truly believe that the legislators are doing all that they possibly can to make that happen. And I believe that because the abolitionist movement is making such headway in the pro-life, the minds of the average pro-life person, that they're having to adopt the language of abolition in order to make it appear to the average citizen that they are doing that. Because the more I talk to just average Christians, pro-life Christians, they agree with what we're saying. So the pro-life movement, the organizations are teaching and writing talking points for the legislators on how to deal with this language change. So they're, one, adopting the language of abolition. But another thing that I think that they are doing is being tied in with hearing our bills initially and then giving us an opportunity to continue to ask for their support as these bills keep coming up, and then doing this and labeling the bill the Abolition Strategy Act, that is going to fail because it is contingent on the court. The courts are going to shut it down. It is going to fail. And even if Roe versus Wade becomes overturned, which I don't think that they believe is going to happen, the bill itself is going to fail in criminalizing abortion. And so what's going to happen in 5 years, 6 years, as abolitionists keep trying to put these bills forward, is they're going to point to this and say, see, we tried it, it doesn't work, we have to continue with our strategy of voting for Republican nominees that will possibly put in a Supreme Court justice that will be on our side. We have to keep pushing these heartbeat bills, these incremental bills, these bills that make it harder for a doctor to kill the child. And they're going to say, see, we had an abolition bill. It didn't work. We even let it come forward. We brought it out and it failed. And they're going to use that as a means to trick the public into thinking that they've tried the abolitionist bill, when the truth is they have not. And they're going to try to use that as cover for their own bills that are unjust. Now, that's only my own opinion, my own speculation. However, looking at history, talking to legislators, seeing how this all works out, the way that they interact with these pro-life organizations that are giving them the talking points to fight against our bills right now, teaching the legislators how to lie and misrepresent the bill to the general public that calls in. This is why I believe that is what's going on. So don't be fooled by it. Don't be fooled by this bill. It's weak. It does nothing. It's going to get shot down. It is not going to go into effect, and they're going to try to use it to claim that they did try an abolitionist bill. So do not let them get away with it.